Alright tubes, what is going on? We got something pretty interesting here for you today. We're under the hood of my '02 Ford Ranger, which is of course the supercharged truck. And I actually had a problem with it the other day, and believe it or not, this is actually the first time in 2 years that I've ever had a problem with the truck, at least related to the supercharger. So it's been a reliable setup up to this point. But what happened was I was getting ready to go somewhere in the truck, and I started smelling fuel. And at first I thought the truck was just running rich. It was real cold. I thought I just started it up. But then I thought to myself, hold on, wait a minute. Something ain't right. So I got out of the truck and I checked it, and I could see fuel coming from one of these fuel lines. The way the fuel line set up in this truck is you've got this junction box here, and then one side goes to one fuel rail and the other side goes to the other fuel rail. And I could actually see where it was coming from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you guys on the tripod here, and I'm not going to start the truck, but I'm just going to turn the ignition on and prime the fuel pump, and that should reveal the source of the problem. Yeah, that's not what you want. Not good at all. So as you can see there, the problem is pretty obvious. It's just a matter of one of these fuel lines is giving up on this. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this fuel line off. It's very simple. That's what's nice about these A-end fittings. All you got to do is loosen up both ends, and it'll come right out of there. And what we'll do is we'll get it on the bench. Probably just going to disassemble it and make a new one, and maybe evaluate, see if there's a way that we can change this around, maybe with a different fitting, and not have quite as much of a bend in it. Alright, so I got my fuel line off here, and before I take it apart and start making a new one, I'm trying to evaluate if I want to remake this one or try and improve on the design such that it doesn't fail in the same way again. And what I'm finding here is I understand the way they did it, and pretty much it's just a matter of given the configuration of everything. You know, we have some things that are fixed. The fuel rail is obviously not going to move, and the fuel junction box is also stationary. So given the way everything's lined up, there's really just not a great way to hook these things up. And the issue is that this fuel rail connection down here is so close to this junction box that no matter what you do, the change in elevation and the fact that they really don't line up on any plane means that no matter what, you have to have some sort of a tight bend at some location, no matter how you hook these lines up. That being said, I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel here and redo these lines. I'm going to stick with basically the way they're set up. I'm not going to mess with the other side at all. What I think I am going to do is I'm just going to try and make this line here, I'm going to try and make it longer. As you guys saw with the previous setup, this point here is a pretty tight bend, and that's where it failed. So what we want to try and do is maybe make that a little bit smoother of a curve. And so I think really the only way that I can do that is just to make the hose a little bit longer. You know, not too long. We do have a pretty good amount of space under here that I think that this hose can be extended. I'm thinking maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches. We can always cut it down if we have to, maybe even 2.5. First thing I'm going to do is disassemble the old hose. These fittings are reusable. Assuming there's no damage to the flare fitting itself, you can reuse these things pretty indefinitely. So the way I do this is I just stick the bottom half of it in the vise, and then the top half just unscrews. Once we get that out, it should be a matter of just spinning the hose and pulling it in order to get it out, like so. So now you got your two pieces. We'll just screw these back together temporarily, and we can reinstall this on the new hose. Going to repeat the same thing for this side. When you work with these hoses, make sure you're careful, because especially with an old hose like this, there's going to be a lot of sharp edges on this braid where it was cut, so watch out for that. So I've got our new one set up here to cut, and as you can see, I wanted to see if I still knew how to do it, so I put the first end on successfully already, but the second end's ready to cut here. And the way that we do this is you want to wrap them with some kind of tape beforehand, because if you don't do that, as soon as you cut it, the ends will get all frayed up and you'll never be able to get the hose into the fitting. My tape of choice is masking tape. I've used duct tape in the past, but masking tape actually seems to be more successful. The key to it is you just can't wrap it on too thick, because if it's too thick, you have the same problem. It won't go into the fitting. So what I usually do is I just go around with it one time and no more than that. And then what we do with it is we're just going to cut it right down the middle. In the past, I always used a big cutoff wheel to get this job done, but I always wondered if that was overkill. So I'm going to try my Dremel today. I don't know if this is going to work, but if it's worth a shot. Alright, well that worked okay, I would say. The first half cut beautifully, the top side. When I got to the bottom side of it, I sort of got messed up there, and that was my fault. Probably what I should have done is cut half of it, flipped it upside down, cut the other half of it. So I would say that this is a, this will work, but you just have to be cautious. Now putting these fittings together is pretty simple. Really the hardest part of the whole process is making a good cut, because if you don't have a good cut, this next step becomes very difficult. So what we do is we separate the fitting like this, and then as before, I take this half of it, I stick that in the vise. Once we got that sitting in the vise, all we're trying to do here is get this hose started inside that. There's actually threads inside of it, so once you get started, you're able to spin it and it kind of pulls itself in. But the hard part is getting it started, because if you're not careful, what happens is you end up fraying the line. Once the line starts to fray and the braid starts to peel back, it kind of becomes impossible and you end up just having to make another cut. So be really careful about this, and if you have a spot that's starting to fray like I do, where I made that mess up on my cut, I would start with that side. Get that side in there and started, and then kind of angle it in, like so. Sometimes if it starts to fray, you got to spin it around and start it from a different spot, but it's really just a matter of trial and error, and once you get better at it, you get better at it, and it's easier. But I think it got it started here, so now what we can do is just kind of spin and push at the same time. And you guys can't see right now, but the way you know that it's far enough is you can look inside from the top, and you can see there's a point where the hose bottoms out against the fitting about halfway in here, and once you're at that point, you're good. Now all we got to do is screw this top half of the fitting in, and what I usually do is I lubricate it, and I'm not going to recommend what to lubricate it with, because I haven't confirmed that what I use is really a good idea or not. I've seen people use motor oil, and that's probably the best bet. I think if the line's safe for gasoline, it's probably safe for motor oil. But what we do here is we just screw this thing down until it's flush and makes contact with the bottom half of the fitting, and usually once it makes contact, you're good. But I usually just tighten it just enough, that little extra bit, so that the two faces are lined up and it looks a little better. And then you're done. So that wasn't too hard. We got a new hose all mocked up here, and this one is, I mean, it's 2 inches longer than the other one, which is fairly significant. So I'm hoping that this makes a big difference. Alright, so we're back at the truck here again, and you guys probably know this, but one thing I'll make note of, in case you guys are watching this video and you've never worked with these lines before, is you can swivel them. You know, once you tighten them down, you can't do that anymore. But while you're working on them, you can actually swivel them at both ends. So that makes it kind of convenient for getting things lined up, because what I'm going to try and do is there is a slight natural curve to this this line because of the fact that it was shipped in a coil. So I'm going to try and follow that, and I'll spin these fittings around accordingly. But let's see if we can get this thing in here. I think I'll start by getting this end started. All right, I got our hose hooked up back here, and if I'm going to be quite honest with you guys, I don't think that this really is any improvement over the previous setup. You can see here that it is a bit of a wider loop here, which is good. However, the angle at this fitting right here is a lot tighter. Well, not a lot, but there is more of an angle here than there was previously. I think right at that point right there's a lot more strain than there was before. It was straighter at that point, but it was tighter over here though. So I don't know. You know, I mean, the old one held up for 2 years, and I can't remember. It might have been longer than that because I didn't make those lines. It was a used kit, and I'm pretty sure I used the ones that came with it. That being said, you know, this is probably going to be good for a while. I mean, when you're dealing with fuel, I don't like the idea of you know, good enough, and we'll fix it when it breaks again. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. You know, that's what happens with modified vehicles like this. That's all I got for you in this video. I do have plans for this truck. I mean, you guys have never even seen it drive, so obviously I got to make some videos of that. And I am thinking about getting a set of injectors for it and getting it tuned and really getting it optimized for this blower, because I'm running really more boost than I should be for the stock injector, stock tune, and all of that. So I think I'd be able to get a lot more out of it if you know, I had that. That's where we're at right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, just a little quick one, and preview of what's to come with this truck, hopefully. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked what you saw, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and leave a comment if you haven't left a comment. Bye guys.